Hi, Joe Palmer here. It's Sunday, October 1st, and 56 days from today, I'll be boarding a plane flying to Botswana in Africa for a photo safari. So what I'm going to be doing over the next few videos, I don't know how many it's going to take, I want to cover certain segments of my preparation for this journey. To share with you some of the things that I've learned in preparation for this kind of a trip, and maybe they will be of value to you and your travel plans, whether it's going out to the Great Smokies or the Grand Canyon or going to Africa. You never know. You know, trips are trips is the way I kind of look at it. But I do want to mention one thing too about my channel. I cover a lot of different topics, I think. Some of them are personal, some of them might deal with a little bit of political humor maybe, travel, hobbies, what have you. And, you know, to me, it shows that I'm a little bit more maybe than just a one-dimensional individual. I mean, yeah, if my channel just wanted to focus on travel to a certain country, I could do a video like that and keep sustaining it. But I think that people aren't as, I don't like the word shallow, but I don't think they are that shallow, that, you know, they just want one thing. And you know, to me, this video channel is like a sharing experience with you, and that's my intent. So, enough said on the subject. Going to Africa. What do I need? Well, I'm going to do some videos. This one today concerns vaccinations. I'll do another one on camera equipment that I'm going to be taking, my plans for that, clothing, packing, even arranging, in my mind, what airports to fly through and going on this African adventure. So, like I say, this first video is going to deal with vaccinations, which very important, by the way. So in any case, I'm going to Botswana. I Googled Botswana on the advice of the company that I'm going with on the photo safari, and the only thing that they had was, you know, the things dealing with COVID, which again is not a big deal. You know, I got my COVID vaccines back when they said it would prevent the disease, and we all know about that. But in any case, I got them, so I'm done with that. I went on the CDC website to check on countries and any diseases that might be prevalent in that particular country at the time I'm going, and they came up with some recommendations. So I'm only going to say what worked for me. You check with your own doctor about recommendations for vaccines and everything else. I'm not going to play Marcus Welby, MD, on a YouTube channel. You need to check with your own doctor as to what you might be required to have, or what vaccines you should get. But as a veteran, I went to my local VA facility and I said, hey, I'm going overseas. I'm going to go to Africa, and by the way, in January I'm going to be taking a trip to the Philippines. What vaccines do you think I need? Well, they went to the CDC website, and very specific as to the region I was going in Botswana. I'm going on the Chobe River area, and they were able to bring up, particular to that region in Botswana, areas where I should be vaccinated. And so the the head of the infectious disease department of the VA came in to look at what was coming up for recommendations, and she said, "You are the poster child for vaccinations." So at the end of the day, and over a period of about 3 weeks, I got hepatitis A, hepatitis B, I got rabies vaccinations, I got post-polio vaccination. I had never heard of this. I said, hey, I was vaccinated when I was a kid against polio, and they said, well, 65 years old or older, you should get a post-polio vaccine, and they showed the countries where it was actually a recommendation. So, what the heck? I got what they call a Japanese encephalitis shot. Never heard of that disease, but Google it, you'll find out that it can kill you. And even if it doesn't kill you, you can come out of it with so many ailments that I said, hey, here's my arm, give it to me. Also got my flu shots, I got a pneumonia shot, I got that RSV shot, which you need to get if you're 65 or older. I personally recommend it, but again, you got to check with your doctor, and I think that you can only get that RSV on a doctor's recommendation. I don't think it's just one of those things you could walk in and get your shot. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I have heard that. And what other shots? Oh, one of the other things, which again, you don't think about these things. Okay, yeah, I'm going to get vaccinated, but these countries are prone to malaria. Anytime you got mosquitoes, I mean, you can go down to Louisiana, go down to bayous. I mean, you might run the risk of malaria. I don't know that, but you're in that kind of an environment. So they gave me a prescription for malaria pills, and the regime on that is I'll start taking them 2 days before I leave. Every day I'm in country, and then for a week after I get back. So prevention, like they say sometimes, is the best medicine. But so many times people think, well, I'm going to get my shots, and then that's it. Take a malaria pill every day. The other thing that the VA and the doctors didn't talk about, but something that you need to think about, and I strongly recommend you bring, are some kind of a really good mosquito repellent. Always keep in mind that if you're going to check through your luggage, you can carry the full-size container, but if you're only going to try to do carry-on, which I'm going to try to do, I'll see how all that works out, and I'll have a video on that. But you can only get those 3.4 ounce bottles. But make sure you get a mosquito repellent that is got a good, I think it's at least a 25% DEET concentration. There's another company out there called Sawyer. You can Google Sawyer mosquito repellent, and they make one that's highly effective as well. So, and I don't think it contains DEET. So, but in any case, make sure that you carry a good, like a Deep Woods Off, even the swatches, the pads, those are just as good as well. But make sure you do carry a mosquito repellent. The other thing that strongly recommend is sunblock. You're going to be going into an environment that the sun is just going to be beating down on you, and you don't, sometimes when we get into the sun, we don't think about it, but even in the shade, you can get affected by it. Myself, I'm prone to have blotches of skin cancer that can creep up every now and then, and so I just take the heaviest sunblock that I can find. But you want to make sure that you carry something like that with you. Again, keeping in mind that if you're going to do carry-on luggage, you need one size. If you're going to check through, you're pretty much safe with almost any size container. So anyway, I think that's about it as far as I had vaccinations. I did ask them though, why I needed the rabies vaccine, because I certainly have no intention of getting out of the safari vehicle and walking up to a pride of lions and trying to do a close-up. And they said, what you really got to be careful of when you travel to some of these foreign countries, and it's also true in Europe. You'll see this a lot, not so much here in the States, but you'll see dogs and cats, and they're walking around the restaurants, and they don't have, in many cases, a collar on them or whatever. And you might say, "Oh, aren't you cute? You've been down there to pick up, to pet them or something," and boom, they give you a bite. You don't know if that animal has rabies or not, so guess what? You're going to get a rabies treatment, and it's not worth it. And it may not be all that bad a vaccine to have here in the States either, because I found out again from a friend of mine who's a veterinarian. He said that skunks are one of the highest carriers of rabies in the U.S. And then, of course, you've got bats, flying around again. You hear they bite you, whatever. Well, sounds scary, I guess. But, again, prevention is the best medicine. So, to sum everything up, check with your doctor, okay, because you may or may not have to get a prescription for some of the vaccines. I'm kind of like 99.99% even sure that you need a prescription for your malaria pills. And again, why risk it? You're spending a lot of money to go on this trip, and why not spend a few extra $100 to make sure you don't get sick, either while you're there or when you get back? So I think that's about all the shots that I had. If I think of anything else, I'll put it in a future video. But check with your doctor. Check with the company that you're traveling with. Go on the internet, take some time, but vaccinations are something that you need to really get taken care of a minimum of 2 months before you take your trip, because some of them are a series of shots, and you can't go a week before your trip and say, "Gee, I need my hepatitis shot, or I need this, or I need my rabies shot, or this, or the other," because they have a series to them, and so best to prepare early for them, and you'll be set. So that's it for this particular video. Like I said, future ones are going to deal with camera equipment that I'm going to be taking, what I feel I can carry with me. I'll talk a little bit more about the trip that I'm going on, the company that I'm going to be with on the photo safari, and I think that's just about it for right now. So please subscribe to the channel. Like I say, there's a lot of topics that I cover, and I hope they're of value to you. I hope in some cases they might brighten your day a little bit, and in other ones give you some thought, and in other ones just give you some information as to how to prepare for something, and then also that you kind of enjoy them. So that's about it for now. Again, I ask you kindly to please subscribe. I hope you stay well, stay safe, and God bless.